Here's where I spent a lot of my time, which is working, trying to decipher new inscriptions and then translating them. So let me just read you some poems. We'll sort of go through a few. 四面云山清一色，光阴去却复难得。随处皆然显春意，无人可遂心中得。Clouds and hills all around, a single fresh color. Time slips away and cannot be recaptured. Although the feeling of spring is everywhere, how can we fulfill our heartfelt wish? It's been a long time since I left my home village. Who could know I'd end up imprisoned in a wooden building? I'm heartsick when I see my reflection. My handkerchief is soaked in tears. I ask you, what crime did I commit to deserve this? And this was signed by Li Hai from Taishan, Nansun. I tended house and home for dozens of years. After thinking it over 1,000 times, I began this journey. When I arrived at the island, I was put in the detention center. Who knew that even Mexico forbids entrance? Mexico was forbidding laborers from entering without posting a bond by this point. 1,000 miles across the Pacific Sea, yet before the waves were stilled, I was detained in prison grounds. For the sake of my studies, I never complained of hardship, but who knew there would be such high debts to pay? For 3 months, I have been continuously in prison. This year has every day brought me 9 rounds of sorrow. Heaven has eyes and molds heroes' bones through suffering. But now I'm at a dead end and wipe the tracks of my tears. This one's got lovely calligraphy, in a running style. Look at how wonderful that character is. I'm distressed our ancestral land is in such peril, slashed and gouged for over 200 years. Compatriots must renew their will to strengthen the country. Chinese from then on will have no sadness. My ambition as grand as the 4 directions, this bitterness is hard to bear. What problem was it that put me in the hospital room? I am loyal and principled, but now shamed and wounded. I had departed my ancestral home, but am now deported to the land of time. This one is very hard to read, but once you pick up a couple characters, it's obvious what it is. This is the most famous poem in Chinese. This is the 8th century poet Li Bo's moonlight thoughts on a moonlit night. Let me go back. Before the bed, the bright moonlight, I thought it was frost on the ground. Raising my head, I stare at the bright moon. Lowering my head, I think of home. And this poem is similar. Beautiful calligraphy, by the way. But this poem is similar. The first line is original, but the last 3 lines are a quote from the 8th century poet Wong, a poem about his feeling of missing his brothers on a festive holiday. When exhausted and distressed, the feeling of parting is the saddest. Whenever a holiday comes, I remember my family even more. From afar, I know my brothers are climbing to a high place. Dogwood sprays in their clothes, short one man. It's hard for Chinese to come to America. So much sadness in a far place. The foreign slaves have always bullied and cheated our country. When the people are rich and strong, we'll destroy the foreign land.